Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for its 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 15th of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extra GFS and CET Ensembles. Maybe in a couple of weeks, we'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that gets us pretty much to the beginning of September. I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that first video release day was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've also released the weekend forecast and the EC42 day forecast. Well, please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content, and thank you so very much everybody for doing that. I hope you're having a lovely Saturday despite this very inclement weather, and that's where we're going to start with this video. So we're going to begin with the severe weather warnings and watches that have been released by the UK Met. So we've got warnings galore. We've got a yellow rain warning here for southeastern parts of Scotland, valid until 4 PM this afternoon. We have got a yellow thunderstorm warning for parts of the South and East Midlands into southeastern England and East Anglia. That's valid until 10 PM tonight. Heavy showers and thunderstorms may lead to some flooding and travel disruption. There is a yellow wind warning as well, but it's primarily the amber wind warning that we're most interested in across southwestern parts of Wales up here, and also across southwestern parts of England down onto the south coast. So that's valid until 7 PM tonight. Storm Antoni brings the potential for damaging gusts of wind to some southwestern areas of both England and Wales on Saturday. Quite unusual to see an amber wind warning in August, so it can happen. It has happened in the past. I think last time might have been 2020 when my poor old runner beans got flattened towards the latter stages of the month. But this is early in August as well, so this is even more unusual. We might get 70-mile-an-hour gusts of wind around some exposed southwestern coast this afternoon, which I'll say is highly unusual for the time of the year. So yeah, take care out there. It's a wild afternoon down in the southwest, and in other places a very wet afternoon as well, causing problems on the roads in terms of localised flash flooding and whatnot. So just take it easy off out and about this afternoon. Not only is it wet and windy, it's also cold as well in some places anyway. Now, we have reached 19 degrees actually across some of the more southern parts of the country. Southampton, these latest temperature observation from XE Weather, by the way. Southampton at 19 degrees, and also Cardiff at 19 degrees. We go a bit further northwards where we have that cloud and persistent rain. It gets much cooler. So, for example, Church Lawford is just 13. East Midlands Airport just 12 degrees. Nottingham at just 12 degrees. Marham in East Anglia at just 13 degrees. Norwich is at just 13 degrees. Showery at just 12 degrees. Dreadpool. Lake Burnley, 10 degrees there in Wales at the moment, and 2 PM in the afternoon on the 5th of August. That is about 12 degrees, 10, 11, 12 degrees below average. If that happened in the winter, so in January, if you got a temperature like 10, 11, 12 degrees below average, you'd be talking about maximums of -7, something like that. So, yes, very chilly out there. And just goes to show that in the right circumstances, in the right weather setup, we can still get appreciably cooler than average conditions. Leeds and Bradford at 14 degrees. Albemarle at 13 degrees. Up Scotland, Strathallan at 12. Abbeymoor at 14. And Loch Lasgarnock at 12 degrees. A little bit milder for Belfast at 17. And also Precipitation at 18 degrees. So in the far west and south, it is a little bit milder, but certainly the central, northern and eastern regions are very chilly out there. And combined with the rain, it's feeling more like sort of early November, really, rather than early August in some parts of the country. Quite an unusual scenario. Obviously, this will have an effect on the CET, so central temperature is currently sitting at 16.3, which is 0.5 a degree above average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 4th of August. That will drop when that updates tomorrow because we're having a very, very chilly day in the CET region. Let's do a look at the CET Saturday then. So this is the Central England Temperature Index going all the way back to 1659, the oldest and most reliable temperature record anywhere on Earth. Now, if you come down to the current year, of course, the further back you go, the more unreliable it gets, but it is a snapshot, you know, and get back into the 1700s and whatnot. So going down to 2023, we can see that July came out at 16.1 after June at 17.0. Of course, August will be placed just there. Now, last year we had a very hot August. We had a hot August indeed at 18.7. That's the first time we had an 18 Celsius CET August since 2003. We've gone nearly 20 years without an 18 Celsius CET August. So there's 18.3 showing up just there. There have been some pretty warm Augusts in between. So 2004, for example, was at 17.6. We had 2013 at 17.0. We had 2016 at 17.1. We had 2020 at 17.7. That year looked odds on to get to 18 degrees. It was just in the final few days of the month. It turned much cooler and much more unsettled as well. And as I say, we did get a couple of named storms in the last stages of August 2020, but flattened by runner beans. So far, looking out of the window here, so far the runners are holding up. But it's not that windy. Hopefully the winds won't get up to me and my runner beans won't be flattened. The warmest August on record. Now we had a couple of very, very hot Augusts in the 1990s. We had 1997, which came out at 19.0. However, 1995 just picked that at 19.1. That 1997 August number has been upgraded, I think, by 0.1 of a degree. That always used to be 18.9, I think, but they've increased that by 0.1 of a degree from 18.9 to 19.0. But nevertheless, 1995 still the hottest August on record at 19.1. But very unusual that we had like two really hot August there, 19.1 and 19.0, you know, within 3 years of one another. I mean, of course, we had 2003 as well with a CT of 18.3. And then let's not forget 1990, which also had an 18 Celsius CT August. So we talked about this, I think talked about this a bit last year. We had 1990, we had 1995, we had 1997, and we had 2003. So we had like 4 18 Celsius plus CT August within 13 years. And then nothing for the following 19 until 2022, when we finally achieved it and we got that 18.7 CT. What about on the cold side of things? Well, there have been some notably cold August, but not for a while. Now, if we go back to, let's go back to 1956. That was a grim August that we had there. You see, it's just 13.5. No, that was a very cold August indeed. We've also got 1986, but I remember as a very bad August. That came out at 13.7 for CT, and we had the remains of Hurricane Charlie at the end of the month during the bank holiday weekend. And the scenario I've got right now is actually kind of similar to that, actually, in some ways. The coldest August on record, though, and I had to confirm this with Shrine, because I wasn't sure if there was anything further back, but I couldn't see anything. Shrine did confirm that the coldest August on record is 1912, which had a central temperature of 12.9. That is the only time that August has had a CT under 13 degrees, and it was part of a very grim summer, but August 1912 was really bad. It was one of the, I think, just about the wettest, coldest, dullest August on record. So we're not going to scrape down to that level, despite today's inclement weather. We're not going to reach that level in the foreseeable future, but yeah, that's the coldest anyway. Back there in 1912. Of course, the further back you go, you will find some very cool August, but none that come in under that come in under 13 degrees. So there we go. That's put the CET into context for August. Of course, we will know in about 4 weeks' time where we are coming out with August 2023. It will be interesting to see. I would imagine we will not be getting 18 Celsius CET August this year, but we shall see. It's early days in the month, and who knows what's going to happen. So we'll keep you posted on that, obviously. GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles next. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting up cooler than average at the moment. We've got a warm up coming up later next week, though, so we're going to get a couple of very warm, quite hot days actually through the second half of next week. Very brief, and then it's back down to average or cooler than average conditions for the middle of the month and possibly into the second half. Precipitation wise, so this is today's wet weather associated with Antoni. Going drier after that for a few days, and then as the temperature drops here, we've got some precipitation spikes that might be a fungi breakdown. After that, possibly signs of some showery weather into the second half of August. Temperature anomalies from the 5th to 13th of August coming out about to ever so slightly above average, not a particularly big deviation. And precipitation anomalies from the 5th to 13th of August driving average down in the south. That's a change on what we've had over the past few weeks. This is Windflow Map from urbanknowschool.net shows we've got this nasty area of low pressure is Storm Antoni sitting across the southern part of the country, and it's on the southern and western side of that low that we got the strongest of the winds. If we zoom in, you can see this is quite a significant feature. This is quite a significant area of low pressure that we've got here, bringing these very strong winds into southern and also far southwestern parts of the country. As that low pushes further eastwards off into the North Sea in the afternoon and into the evening, we're going to find the strongest of winds transferring through the channel along the south coast and then heading off into the continent. Things will calm down overnight. Right, oh, that hurt. Let's start going through the chart data there. This is how the latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Tuesday. High pressure started to ridge up from the southwest. That high pressure takes over through Wednesday and Thursday, pulls the wind up into the south. That is a much warmer, in fact hotter wind direction. However, we have got a deep area of low pressure in the Atlantic as well, and what happens is that low pressure then pushes eastwards, takes a cold front across the country, so by the time you get through to midnight on Saturday, we're back into significantly cooler and fresher air from off the Atlantic. It really is a case of being a 1 or possibly 2 day wonder with this push up in the temperature. Icon again showing a ridge building up from southwest on Tuesday. That high pressure then takes over to the east of the country through Wednesday to Thursday, drags up this hot southerly flow, but a deep area of low pressure is waiting winds in the Atlantic. So as early as midnight on Friday, we're already pushing a cold front across the country and introducing cooler, fresher air in from off the Atlantic. As we get to next Saturday, as far as we get to with Icon, high pressure is ridging back up from the southwest, so it should bring a lot of dry weather into next weekend, but it won't be as hot as it is at the end of next week. GFS midnight run, all much of a muchness for Tuesday with that ridge of high pressure building up and developing over to the east country. The middle part of the week drags up that warm to hot southerly wind, but low pressure of the Atlantic sends a cold front eastwards, cuts off that warm or hot supply of air. Although high pressure does come back as we go through days 8, 9, 10. So this is definitely a more settled and warmer period that we've got coming up. I wouldn't necessarily go too over the top with it becoming hot, but definitely warmer and more settled with higher pressure influences. Right at the very end of the GFS midnight run, low pressure takes over once again, turns cool and unsettled. The GFS 6Z showing very similar conditions really through the middle part of the week. We're dragging up those very warm to hot southerly winds, although by 6 a.m. Friday, low pressure and the cold front in the Atlantic is pushing eastwards. That could well bring some thunder with it. We'll know more about that in a couple of days. And also cooler air comes in around that area of low pressure from off the Atlantic, heading up towards day 10. High pressure then re-emerges within a rather cooler air mass, but will still deliver plenty of sunshine and relatively warm temperatures. That looks quite warm actually as we go into the second half of August there. That's Thursday the 17th with high pressure again somewhere over northern Germany or Denmark, and we're bringing in the wind from a southerly southeasterly direction. Again, very quickly turns thundery though. With that courtesy of this area of low pressure. So it's trying to settle down, whether it's trying desperately to settle and to get some high pressure going. It looks as though the Atlantic will remain the dominating factor, so any high pressure, any ridging will be quite short-lived. But we are in for something a little bit warmer and drier at times anyway over the next week or two. If you're enjoying this video, then please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our video. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so much everyone for doing that. We only need to put on 12 subscribers, 2 subscribers to get to 15.6k. The subs are moving very quickly at the moment. Thank you so much to all of our new subscribers. And yes, please tell your friends and family to subscribe to GavsWeatherVids and help get us to 15.6k and our 16.6k and our ultimate target, which of course is 17k. Right, okay. GM high pressure is building up from the south, bringing lots of dry weather through the middle part of next week, also turning hotter as well. But this area of low pressure will flatten off that ridge, possibly bring a fungy breakdown at the end of next week and introduce cooler and fresher air in from off the Atlantic, all looking rather showery and mixed by day 10, which is the 15th of August. And then the ECM is very similar again through the middle part of next week. This ridge builds over to the east country, pulls up that warm southerly southeasterly. That gets cut off though through Friday, Saturday as a cold front moves eastwards, may bring a fungy breakdown and introduce cooler and fresher air in from off the Atlantic. However, heading up towards day 10, have another go at pulling up some quite warm or relatively hot air from the south. But again, it looks relatively short-lived by day 10. Got another front that's coming in off the Atlantic with this area of low pressure. Second week of August is going to try and turn drier and hotter. How successful it is remains to be seen. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run on Twitter.com. All of today's wet weather pulling away overnight, leaving us with showers for tomorrow. And then into next week, it looks a little bit showering. But the second half of next week does turn drier and warmer. However, hints of a fungy breakdown there around the end of next week. And beyond that, up towards day 10, showery in the north and west, but still a lot of dry weather in the south and the southeast. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Bring Oceanic Methops gets us to 15th of August. 16 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to the north, some sort of trough over to western country. That looks a little bit on the showery side. 13 with low pressure actually dominating weather from off the Atlantic. That will be unsettled. 10 with high pressure sitting just to our east, some low pressure out to west. We'll be bringing up wind from the south with that. That includes the control and the operational run. Another 9 with lower pressure in off the Atlantic, a little bit on the cool and showery side, and 3 with high pressure over Scandinavia, bringing in the wind from the east. A bit of a mixed bag, but a lot of those options do look a bit on the mixed side, I have to say. A little bit unsettled. 2 weeks time, these are the options that we've got. This gets 20th of August, bit inconclusive, with 25 here. So probably some sort of trough of low pressure around the north and west of Europe with that. 15 with high pressure over to the east of the country. That will pull the wind in from the south, and then 11 with high pressure reaching through the country and out into the Atlantic. Again, a little bit of a mixed bag there as we get to 20th of August. CFS V2 finally beats a 500 millibar height and knowledge broken down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 5th to the 11th of August. This week will be unsettled and showery with winds in from the northwest, although high pressure is trying to ridge up from the southwest. Week 2 will be the 12th to the 18th of August. High pressure over continents, lower pressure in the Atlantic, probably bring up wind from a warm or possibly quite hot southerly direction. Week 3 will be the 19th, 25th of August, lower pressure through here, not necessarily low pressure, but lower pressure through there, higher pressure towards East Europe and in the Atlantic heading up towards Greenland. And then finally, week 4 will be the 26th of August, 1st of September. High pressure is in the Atlantic, heading towards Greenland. Probably some sort of trough around here with winds coming in from the northwest. Again, could be a little bit on the cool and showery side with that, but looks rather inconclusive, I have to say, from around week 2 onwards. So we shall see, and time, as ever, is going to tell. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for us. Right, okay, as I say, just 12 subscribers going to get us to 16.6k. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, it would be incredible. Thank you so much. Right, I'll just tell you, coming up tomorrow, we have 6 AM UK weather forecast. The 8th Autumn 2023 update will be released tomorrow as well. It's going to be a July date special. And then in the evening, we're going to be live streaming at 6 PM. We can live stream at 10 to 14 there. And we'll combine that with loads and loads of long range as well. We'll look at the ECMWS season model. We'll look at CANSITs. We'll look at CFS as well, I'm sure. So loads and loads of long range to come tomorrow, as well as the 10 to 14 there. I shall see you live at 6 PM. For this video and for today's videos, though, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.